Yo, what's up, guys? I hope you guys enjoyed the Caliban video yesterday. I did just make a community post on my YouTube talking about what video you guys would like to see this weekend. I am going to be out of town, but I would like to get a scheduled video out for you guys so you guys can take advantage of the double affinity weekend as it is the last one of August. So go vote on that and pick which video you guys would like to see. Um, I will also be uploading a video tomorrow, but I will not be back for another video until Monday evening. So pick wisely on what you guys want over the weekend. And then hopefully you guys can also catch up on some of the builds I have made this week if any of them interest you. But today's video, we are going to be talking about Lavos. Lavos is kind of hot right now because the crazy synergy with the um Badaria with him. We are not going to be going over that in today's video because that's something that everybody's shown, but I'm going to show a Lavos build that you guys can use with that. And we're going to discuss alternate helminths for survivability. And I'm going to show off my main one that I'm going to be using today and kind of discuss how free you are picking your helminth slot on Lavos. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the premise of today's video. So, I mean, without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going to start off this video immediately talking about the build. Archon Shard discussion we're going to save towards the end after we finish the discussion for alternate build options. But let's just get straight into the build. So, Lavos now, because of Valence formation, is a gun platform frame. And he is a darn good one. He is a really darn good one. This right here is just quite literally the top. I'm gonna just say top three strongest augments in the game. I want to say top one, but I might need to like refresh my brain on that. But this turns this frame into a whole nother beast. I mean, Lavos for me was. I did not like him before this came out. This allowed him or kind of brought new life to him for me, and so did 1999, and we will get to that part. We are also using 3 Archon mods on him. That is because he is like the spellcaster frame. Every single one of his abilities, if you guys don't know how he works, comes with an element. So his 1 is toxin, his 2 is cold, his 3 is electricity, and his 4 is heat. Based on whatever ability you helminth off, it will remove your access to one of those. So you need to pick wisely based off what builds you guys are making. To talk about the ones that are going to be necessary for the crazy Vidaria build, it would be your 2 and your 4. So from there, it would be an option on if you want to remove your 3 or if you want to remove your 1. But for me personally, on this build, and we're going to talk about how really it is just you have so many options on what you are helminthing off. But for me, I'm helminthing off the 2 in this build because I'm also utilizing his abilities a little bit more. And I find that the 2 is the least valuable ability in his kit. Not that it is not cool. I like the little viral dash. It looks very cool. Vile dash, I think is what it's called. Let's actually look. Vile rush? I think it's vile rush. That's it. Yeah. But back to the build. There's a little discussion on how Lavos is working. Let's talk about how mod scale on him, which is unique from other warframes. So, modding efficiency on this warframe is going to be basically your energy management. This frame does not have access to an energy pool, but he has access to cooldowns. So, going for good efficiency is how you are going to be able to keep up your abilities. You're probably thinking, it's like, well, Max, why don't you have more efficiency then? That is because I kept my third ability. My third ability gives me cooldown reduction on abilities based off of how many enemies I hit. So if I find a large enough group, which is pretty easy in Steel Path, I can just refresh my abilities whenever. I would definitely not go into negative efficiency, but you can if you really want to. But this is what I've aimed for. Um, then let's talk about how duration scales on him. Duration. This, you know what? We're going to talk about the shard discussion right now. Duration shards are probably going to be the strongest on him because you are able to extend your status duration of your whole kit, including your weapons, by just building duration on him. That might sound like not that crazy, but when you think about it, if you have 300% duration, that means you did 300% more damage with your DOTs. Obviously, yes, you're waiting longer, but it's just like sometimes some of those enemies you're not going to be even seeing. So, like having the heat proc ticking them down more and more over time, or having the toxin proc, or having like the gas proc or the blast proc, it's a nice option. Toxin proc, I mean, etc. Uh, that's why we're building for so much duration. We also have neutral strength. You're seeing 70%, but that is not what we're at on this build. With when we have our 2 up, which we always will on this build, um, as it is our source of survivability, uh, we will be at 100% strength because we're combining it with crepuscular, which gives you 30% strength when invisible. Let's talk about what this second ability is and what our helminth is. We are using evade. Evade is Site '09's helminth, and it has really taken the world by storm on frames that are kind of not squishy, but don't really have the craziest survivability built into their kit. Um, Lavos does have good health tanking abilities, and if you want to build for health tanking, more power to you. I'm using Archon Vitality, um, which does allow me to play very comfortably in lower level missions. And I would suggest this definitely because he does have a large health pool, anyways. But yeah, I mean there are other options for building survivability. And we're going to talk about another helminth option later on. But let's talk about the way that we are doing survivability once again, which is evade. Evade on headshot kill. Okay, first off, evade. It makes you invisible for 25 seconds with this duration currently. And for every headshot kill that we get, it will extend that duration and it will heal us. So we are using, oh man, you guys are going to see this a lot. We are using combat discipline once again. Just absolutely love this aura slot. This is going to always be up because we are getting kills and we are immediately healing ourselves with evade. It's amazing. Love that. Love that combo. And then we are having a constant upkeep of Avenger with combat discipline. And then our crepuscular is always up because of evade. So like these 4 things synergize really well together. We've got crit multiplier from evade. We have we're getting critical chance, flat critical chance from evade. Technically, I guess through combat discipline and Avenger, and it's all like sustained. It's always up. It's really nice. Invisibility is a really nice thing because that means you no longer need to build survivability on the Warframe. Uh, I know that seems kind of weird because then it's like, why am I using Archon Vitality? Archon Vitality works really well on him because of his 4th ability. His 4th ability is not the worst nuke ever. A lot of people hate on this because they don't really understand how Lavos works. This ability, the damage, I think, will just continually double based off of how many statuses are on the enemy. So, like, you have 1 status on the enemy, um, it's going to double what it shows, and then it's going to double that number that was doubled before, and then so on, and then so on, and then so on, which can allow you to do really massive damage with Lavos. I don't think enough people discuss that. They just would like to just be able to cast the ability and just call it a day. But you kind of got to do some work to get this to like nuke at higher levels. But it can. Um, I'm just letting you guys know that is an option. You absolutely could like prime with the epitaph or like the, I mean, gosh, the compressa. I mean, if you're using the Ocu core with a like a crazy hybrid build up at higher level, like kind of something like this, where you got viral, puncture, heat, radiation, magnetic. I mean, all of those. I mean, multiply, 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 multiply. You can imagine that your uh, 4th is going to hit for a lot of damage here. And then we talk about how you can also imbue another damage type into an ability. Let me show that off right here. If I press my 4 right here, we're going to have heat damage and toxin. Just kidding, guys. We're not going to have anything. Um, Here I can actually show off immediately how the 3 works. Right there, I just refreshed the whole duration, uh, which allows me to pop my 3 again. I will pop my 4 again. Uh, Dog's just gonna kill everything, guys. This is... Yeah, okay, I gotta turn off the dog. We'll talk about our companion option and why we're using it here in a minute. But yeah, that's how the 4th works. I know that's kind of weird. It's just like a radius that sends out a bunch of little probe things in every direction. Uh, and it is strong. It is strong. With the status duration, you can absolutely be killing Steel Path with that. And then, like I said, however many statuses you have. Oh, look at that. Damage is doubled for each element afflicted on the enemy. It literally says it in the ability. So I don't know why more people don't cover this. I'm sure the Kengineer covers this because, I mean, this is his favorite Warframe. But let's be honest, not really a lot of other people. So yeah, definitely an option to nuke with this. We are using Archon Intensify. This works with Evade. So now we go from being at 70% strength to 130% strength, which is nice. Neutral's fine. Anything above that, awesome. That is mainly because like we are not aiming to kill with this 4, but it is an option. We are keeping the 1 on just for the fact that it is for the toxin status effect. That is probably going to be the one that you can take off the easiest unless you are building for health tank. We're going to discuss this augment real quick. Ophidian Bite augment reduces ability cooldowns by 4 seconds for at least 4 enemies hit. Or sorry, when at least 4 enemies are hit. Ophidian Bite is granted with a 30% ability range as well. Sorry, I can't read worth of shit. Sorry guys. That is super strong if you do want to build for this. With the like lifesteal, it's kind of cool, or like the health drain. If you are building health tank, you can be spamming your 1 a bunch, and you can see it right there in the ability demo. That is an option. There's so many routes to go down with him. If you guys like health tanking, health tank. There's nothing wrong with that. It just does limit your possibilities for building every other stat because he does kind of like every other stat. But this is what I found that works best for me. We are also using Archon Continuity because if we imbue our weapons with Toxin, if we imbue our abilities with Toxin, we will also get corrosive procs with it. Let's show that off. Toxin here. Corrupt Heavy Gunners. I press my 4. As you can see, we have heat, toxin, and corrosive on these enemies. Pretty awesome. So getting 3 statuses right there immediately off 1. So just really nice to have. That's 3 DOTs because you have 2 heat procs, toxin, and you have corrosive for armor. And heat, notably. So yeah, very nice. That, and of course we talk about how important duration is. So we are just building for high duration. We are also building for high range. Just because, like I said again, the option to kill with your abilities and to use your abilities practically is nice. Like, I don't want to just upkeep my valence formation. This is what I found that's the most fun for me. You guys can just kind of do whatever you want to do. If you guys want to make him into a full-blown weapons platform and just ignore everything else, you can go for it. That is not what I went down. I kind of went down for more of a hybrid build, and this is what I find the most fun because, like, we have these and this going for like gun platform, and then the rest of the build is kind of just like boosting his abilities. Range obviously makes sense with his 4th. I mean, you have a 40-meter Duke, which, I mean, that's pretty awesome. For low level, this absolutely slams. Absolutely. And then, like I said, higher level with the damage doubling per element is crazy. Narrow-minded, once again, going for more duration, counteracting the range loss with the triple range mods. Yeah, that took a while to explain these mods. Sorry, guys. I hope this all makes sense a little bit. Hopefully it'll make more sense once I show the gameplay. Low-key about to name this portion Yap, because this is a little rough. Uh, let's talk about the fact that I really want to like talk about this a lot. You truly do not need to replicate what I have taken off here. If you want to take off the 4, go for it. If you want to take off the 3, go for it. If you want to take off the 2, go for it. If you want to take off the 1, go for it. It's going to be completely up to you based off of whatever element you are trying to make with your valence formation. The way that valence formation works is right here, I have bottom right, an element selected. It is gas. Now, if I cast an ability for the next moddable duration, by the way, for the next whenever, I now have 200% elemental damage towards the element that I chose with guaranteed status effects. Let's show what that looks like. Every hit from my weapon here is giving gas procs. It's insane. It's extremely strong. Let's say you want to do blast. That means you have the option of taking off the 1 and the 3. I would personally take off the 1 because the 3 allows you to reset your other abilities quicker. I would absolutely avoid taking off the 3 the most because, as you can imagine, 3 is electricity, which is also extremely strong with melee influence. So that does give you another option there, and we are going to talk about melee influence as well with our second weapon option. Before we move on to further testing and weapon talking, let's talk about another helminth option. That would be Ome's Omamori. This is something I can show a build for. I am choosing not to. The reason why I'm not is because it is just worse in so many ways. Evade isn't to the level of cringe yet for me personally because I only just started using it on like 2 warframes. So I don't feel like weird using it like I do with Nourish on every single frame. But if you are not an Evade fan, you can use Omamori and you can go for a shield gating route on Lavos. And like health tanking, like you could go double down. I just want to say this is an option. The way that this ability works is I think it sets you like fixed to like 6 charges or like the highest you can roll. That's it. The highest you can roll is like 15 as the helmet. So the most you can get is 15 charges, but every single time you get shot, it's a 50-50 that it just gets blocked and you get healed. But mainly you are invulnerable. With that invulnerability, you are allowed to immediately regain like your shield if you have a shield regeneration build. So you can get close to AFKing with this build, which is really amazing. And then you combine the CC of Lavos's kit with that, you're gonna have a hard time dying. I just want to cover that as an other optional build option. So if you do not want to use optional build option, guys, it's GG's. I can't talk. It's an alternate build option. I think I said option like 2 times before that. That's okay. If you don't want to use Evade, try Omamori. It's cool. It's a different thing. And people are gonna be like, oh, that's new, that's different. Might be able to show it to some friends and they might think it's cool. But that's kind of it for Lavos. Start discussion, like I said, that's gonna be kind of mainly up to you. I'm assuming what you can get the most value out of and what I would like the most is gonna be building more duration. That is just going to allow my status duration to linger for even longer. Super nice. But hey, no wrong way of playing, guys. Just don't build for anything that's like energy because this guy does not have energy. He has cooldowns, and he can shorten those cooldowns using his 3 or his 1 with the augment, but mainly his 3. Okay. Let's talk about the weapons that I am showcasing in today's video. Obviously, the Badaria Prime is an insane option, and I'm sure you guys have seen the YouTube videos, so we're not covering that in today's video because it'd be redundant. Everyone's doing it right now. Main thing I wanted to show you guys with this video is a cool Lavos build that I enjoy a lot and talk about alternate helmet discussion and how I like to build them, stuff that people don't really touch on enough with his abilities because everybody's just using them as a weapon buff platform. So, back to what I was saying, what weapons I'm using. I am using the Tenet Glaxion. First thing you're going to see here, holy crap, he's using a Riven. Cringe. Guys, this Riven low-key sucks. So, I have a Blast Riven. That is really good if I wasn't playing Lavos. I could literally just force proc Blast, and that would be infinitely better. Like, I would have a better time building Viral on this weapon and just having Viral Electric and then force procking Blast with his kit and with Valence Formation. So if I didn't helminth off my 2, I would be able to use 2 and 4 and then cast an ability, and I would have blast for the next 50 seconds. That is literally stronger. That is literally stronger because it's more blast procs, it's more DOTs going off. It's crazy. Speaking of DOTs, the Tenet Glaxion, guys, this is as crazy as it gets. This thing is literally insane for spreading DOTs. Um, you guys saw it in the little showcase there when I was talking about how his abilities work and how balanced formation works. We are using primary crux for even further status chance and ammo efficiency. We got plus status damage right here. This can be replaced with a Bane if you do like using Banes. Here we have electricity to build for corrosive. This does innately come with cold. I didn't mean to say blast and electricity. That is a good option, actually. Fire on electricity and blast, because that is like the two AoE DOTs other than gas. Whatever. You guys, yeah, if you guys want to build gas on this thing, you can. If you want to build electricity on this thing with viral, you can. If you want to build blast and then go ahead and use valence for a different element, that also works. I would absolutely use blast as my valence, though. It is insanely strong. I'm just going to be honest. That's what I would personally do. If you guys don't want to do that, that's fine. Electricity is another really good option, and I'm going to show that off too. That also works pretty well with my build because I already have high blast status. Not guaranteed, not even close. We have Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot, Galvanized Aptitude for gun CO. It does not have multiplicative gun CO, so we do not have a base damage mod. We are using Prime Shred because this is a chaining beam with punch through. That means we're going to create more chains. It's amazing. The fire rate is great. If you guys do not have this mod, I would suggest going for Metal Auger and outsourcing your fire rates to your companion. What I mean by that is if I go to my companion here, the one that we are using is a Ferropredicite, and if you look what Reinforced Bond does, on reload, gives me shield, but more importantly, at 120 max shield, it will give you 60% fire rate. So if you guys do not have Prime Shred, no problem. You're going to get fire rate from your companion if you use that Bond mod. And you can just use Metal Auger here, and that's completely fine. I'm using Vital Sense for critical damage, and I am using Critical Delay for crit chance. This crit chance is a really nice number because with sorry, gosh, I just had like a weird pain in my chest. With Avenger, sorry guys, it was a little weird. With Avenger, we get exactly to 105 crit chance, so that is super nice. You're like right at perfect yellow crits here, with some occasional orange crits. It's really nice. It pairs really well with Avenger, this weapon. So, and then we also have Sinister Reach, which is exclusive to beam weapons and absolutely the best in slot on every beam weapon. Once again, primary crux. Got to get that status chance. Super good. Let's kind of show off this real quick. And we're going to show this off with the electric valence formation. And you're going to see a couple electric. Guys, I barely touch them. That is like 100. Oh, not that many that time. Boo. Yeah, I mean, you guys get the idea. This is insane. These DOTs sure do build up quick, and you can get massive DOT numbers, especially if you run a Bane over status damage. That's personal preference. If you want to run status damage, absolutely fine. You're getting a little bit more punch through. This is what I found to be the best for me personally, because I still, for some reason, can't use this drop-down menu up top left whenever I'm in my orbiter selecting a mission. It's like, I could literally just swap between all my configs with all the different Banes, but I just don't do it. I'm lazy. That's the Tenet Glaxion. Incredibly strong. That's nothing new. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm so glad I got to showcase it to you guys. Incredibly good. Pick this up whenever you can. Valence bonus isn't going to matter because you can just get Valence override the Elemental Vice and pick it, which you can buy from Eleanor in 1999, or you can just pay for it for 20 plat. But it has to be max rank to be able to do this. So just take whatever element, use whatever frame you want to get it, unless 20 plat or Eleanor is not possible for you. If not, just look up for different progenitors and how to get them. The way I'd recommend summoning a Tenet Lich is by doing the capture mission on Pluto. The way you get them to spawn is by going into the Grenum Void, completing it, and then you should see like something Vados. What is her name? Galaria Vados or something? Oh gosh, I hope I'm saying that right. It's the girl from the Savagoth quest. She'll show up and she'll like say, "Parvos, we found another sister. Would you like to whatever?" Uh, she has your weapon. Take it. If not, move on, and it will be removed from the weapon pool, and you can keep grinding until you get the right weapon that you want. Uh, yeah, that's how you get this. Awesome, really good weapon. I'll try to cover more how to get weapons so you guys don't have to like go look everywhere else if this is like maybe your first time seeing a weapon. Let's go ahead and drop the Ocucore because that's not a showcase in this video. We are going to be showcasing as well the Dual Vicious. Is it the Dual Vicious or the Dual Viscous? That I'm unsure. I don't think you spell vicious that way. I think it's viscous. Okay. Well, let's talk about this thing because it is crazy. I am currently using a really weird. Uh, this is a little funky. But I'm just gonna show it off because it's extremely strong. This thing has a unique trait, and it has built-in gas damage. It also just has really strong stats. It has really high base damage for dual swords, decent status, decent critical multiplier, decent status. I mean, sorry, crit chance. Um, yeah, decent range, whatever attack speed. But the main thing is it just comes with gas, which is really nice because that means it's something else you don't have to mod. I'm going to be first showing you guys, I guess, a scuffed build of what you can do with like. We're gonna go ahead and take off electricity because we don't need that. What you can do with magnetic and gas with Vortex. Vortex sucks enemies in if you kill them with a magnetic status effect. So this is incredibly strong. I think you'd actually be better off building Blast with your Valence, but we're going to show this off regardless. And then we're going to show off what Influence can do. Obviously, it's going to be insane. But this is an option for the Vicious or the Viscous. And I also think, like, guys, look how sick they look on Lavos. It looks like these were made for him. It's kind of nuts. Like, dude, W fashion. W fashion. All right, let's take the dog off before it just blows up everything ever because Contagious Bond is the most broken thing of all time. Gonna spawn in some corrupted enemies here. Go ahead and spawn in the corrupted just group so you guys get a little bit more variety here and kind of get an idea on kill time per different enemies. We will actually use evade here, just because you're not always gonna just be on melee. This is without Valence. It is strong. It is really strong. And then you combine in like, let's say electric Valence, which is strong because that's some DOT and that's some AoE DOT because it chains to nearby enemies. So what we can kind of get going is something like this. Once we group, they're all being affected by those electricity procs and they're getting absolutely destroyed because the gas clouds, the electricity procs, it's all like AoE DOTs. Super good stuff. And yeah, really nice. We are going to also now show this with Influence. I hope you guys kind of like me showing, like, I hope this is okay with you guys, me showing how strong weapons can be even with scuffed builds. Like, you guys can replicate something better than me. I try to show you guys, like, no ribbons 99% of the time. This is going to be my only exception because I'd have to change my helminth around and everything else, which I'm going to do, actually, anyways, because I am going to get out the Vidara build soon. Or like the Vidara Synergies video, which I have 5 Warframes that thing is synergizing with, and I'm excited to share that. But let's show this with Influence, like I said. So once again, we're going to go ahead and imbue Electric, cast my one ability. That's going to go ahead and give it onto my weapon. You can cast any ability. Remember, as long as it's your thing that you have imbued bottom right, and then you just cast, you will get Valence Formation. So, not meaning to use this, meaning to use this. Whoa, guys, melee influence is really strong. Holy moly. Guys, can you believe it? Melee influence when you force proc electricity is really strong. Holy crap. Holy crap. Guys, if you guys like melee, hit that follow button right now. No, I'm kidding. Unsubscribe if you like melee. No, I'm joking. But this is a fun weapon. The Dual Viciss, Dual Vicious, whatever you want to call it. Really cool. Also thinks it looks really cool. Thinks it looks, bro, guys. I can't talk. I also think it looks really good on him. Little ampules on it. Like, bro, guys, come on. This is W's. This is WS tier fashion. Uh, build this however you guys want. If you want to build it with magnetic, go for it. With what was it called? With melee vortex, you can. You guys can build melee afflictions. That's always an option. Quite a few like lifting attacks on dual swords. I don't know why you'd build it for Daughtry, but you sure could. Um, I would either aim for influence or vortex though mainly. Type of builds you could expect to use on this is I would use attack speed, weeping wounds. We are also going to be throwing on blood rush here as well. And then here that's can be like gladiator might if you want to. You don't need an electric mod because you are going to be imbuing electric onto your weapon if you're using influence, and also if you're using I guess you guys can also imbue magnetic onto your weapons for guaranteed magnetic procs or vortex. So many options. You also can imbue more gas to get even more gas status effects with this thing. So that, I mean, that's also crazy, especially when you compare with its unique trait or combine it. Uh, Guys, this is what 35% attack speed and 40% movement speed. That's like really amazing. That compares to quite a few of the Incarnon's movement speed buffs. So this is like just really awesome to use. You're not like in a detriment using this thing. It's very fun. Tenokai's I would go for is probably Opportunity Reach. This is the one that I enjoy the most on every weapon. Um, and yeah, that's what I'd go build wise. So just like Weeping Wounds, Blood Rush, Galvanized Steel, Galvanized Elementalist, attack speed, CO always. If you do want to use a Bane, that is what I would replace with CO. But CO is just really strong anyways, so kind of do what you guys want. Um, so yeah, that's this thing. I think I'm just gonna be using this build for the video or the gameplay. Go ahead and actually throw in Opportunities Reach as well. Might as well. And we're not even gonna have crit, guys. So yeah. We're going to go to the gameplay segment now because that's what I wanted to show off mainly was these two weapons and how they synergize really well with them. But mainly, the main focus of this video is Lavos builds and trying to build more into what Lavos can actually do and being a weapon platform. So yeah, and you guys are going to see that in gameplay. My companion of choice for this video is going to be uh, Paradisite. I have it named after some Kendrick Lamar lyrics. Hit that follow button if you guys like Kendrick Lamar or don't. All fine, all good. We are using the mecha mods to. I think everybody knows how this works. This is the mecha mods combined with the contagious bond, and like it's the full explosion, blows up the whole map. Insanity. If you guys don't know how this works, I'm not the person to explain it, but I can tell you guys that this can do. Saw a video the other day doing a bigger number than I've ever seen before. Uh, 1 septillion 423 sextillion 920 quintillion. Someone did that the other day using Contagious Bond with Mecha Set. So pretty decent stuff going on here. And Pharaoh, I mean, like, if you are using this build every day, you will at least once a day see negative billions. It's just it's utterly insane, guys. Here is my claws build. Once again, using the mecha, so we can get more arc targets. That's what gets this crazy cascade going. Okay, that's the companion. These are the weapons. This is the build. We're using Naramon here, just for the Dual Viciss, so I can kind of put them away in my back pocket, kind of whenever I need to build up my evade again for some headshots. And yeah, let's go ahead and show this off in gameplay. We are going to be imbuing ourselves with electricity during this video, and that is because it benefits my DOT weapon really well. Oh, cool. That's I don't see that too often. It's also kind of giving me like an aneurysm, but that's all right. Going to Saturn for some Steel Path Grenier here on the Grenier ship tile set. Gotta love it. This is what I show off in every video, and it's probably what I'm going to continue to show off, just because it feels like makes the most sense because Grenier is the most common enemy. Sure feels like it at least. If you guys do want to see me test against specific factions, do let me know in the comments. And also, please do vote on that community post so you guys can tell me what you do want to see this weekend. So we're going to go for electricity here. I'm going to go ahead and pop the 4. I'm going to go ahead and pop my 3. I'm going Gonna go ahead and pop my one. And we're gonna go ahead and get rolling here. We got primary crux already getting stacks up. As you can see, our evade is already at 25 seconds again, 33 seconds. Really easy to upkeep, which you wouldn't think it would be easy to upkeep with the DOT weapon, but I don't have too many problems getting headshot kills with this build. And as for the 4, let's talk about it. I mean, look at that. That's great CC. That can kill. Cast my 3 here. Get my ability back. Gonna go ahead and put on electric. Use a little bit of the Dual Viciss. Who knows? I'm an idiot. Absolutely nuking everything ever. More headshots here. Build up our evade duration a little bit longer. Absolutely going crazy. Yeah. Lavos is a good frame. I mean, it's maybe something that people are not ready to hear. I don't like playing him personally because the button mashing is a little bit too much for me. Trigger warning. About to drop a little bit of real life lore here. I have missing fingers, literally. So playing Lavos and setting up his imbuement every single time I cast an ability makes me want to bash my head against a wall, literally. So yeah, that's why I kind of like him a little bit more as a weapons platform, but also not a full weapons platform. Still using his other abilities, just not as much as before. Really strong stuff, guys. Really strong stuff. Please, if you have not tried these weapons, give them a try. Specifically, super fun on him. Like I said, guys, can absolutely helminth off any ability. That is going to be completely up to you and how you mod your weapons. That is the amazing part. He can make up for the shortcomings of your weapons or whatever you weren't able to mod status-wise and put that onto your weapons or add to it. I mean, it's like, if I had blast on this, like, or had the ability to imbue myself with blast, it'd be extremely strong for me to do so. Yeah. Go ahead and get this going again. See, that's a lot of statuses on the enemies. That's really good for Guncio. Love it. Love it. Really, really good just primer. Getting 3 unique statuses onto an enemy. Gotta love it. Gotta love the 4th ability on this guy. Don't love it when it's my only thing that does anything in my entire kit, though. Trigger warning to Lavos before this augment. Trigger warning to Lavos when he had 0 augments. That's a real trigger warning right there, guys. But yeah, I mean, this is a really long video. But I think rightfully so, because Lavos is a really complicated frame. It's kind of complicated to talk about him because I don't want you guys to copy and paste the builds. That's like most urgent thing I want to say. Like, based off of how you mod your weapon, what weapons you are using on him is what you should be helminthing off. If you want the most versatile setup, I would say probably removing the 1 is going to be your best play. Unless you really like gas status effects. Force procking Nourish and... force... Golly, guys. I just called Viral Nourish. It's over. But force procking... What? Corrosive. Force procking Gas and force procking... Oh my god, Viral. Yeah, I almost said Nourish again. Those, I feel like, are not your best options, where all the other ones are going to like be able to give you like some type of DOT. Cold gives you a really good DOT with blast. Electricity is a really good DOT on its own. Heat's a really good DOT on its own. Heat and cold make blast. I find a little bit stronger than gas procs, as I think it's the way its AoE works is a little bit better, and it synergizes with a little bit more weapons in unique ways. But back to a little Dual Viciss gameplay here. As you guys can see, even if your evade goes down, as long as you got your duration going for at least a little bit, you're able to immediately put it back up, which is nice. So low stress build here. As you guys can see, also that run speed's really nice. Like that movement speed, the parkour. Oh yeah, I like it. Really enjoyable. Really enjoyable. We're gonna show you guys Lavos absolutely annihilating the Acolyte. I can't wait to die to him after I said that now. Please don't be violence. Okay, this is fine. Oh, let's talk about Lavos' passive. Guys, my goodness. Lavos. Enemies affected by his 3 are going ahead, bro. Gonna go ahead and drop. what are they called? Universal orbs. And if you pick up those universal orbs, they make you status immune for a period, which is also knockdown immune. Take a look. Pretty amazing stuff. Like, awesome. Transmutation orb is giving you universal orbs and universal ammo pickups. Really nice. That means we do not have to use Worm with Negate on this build to take him to high levels because you have status immunity built into your kit. Really awesome. That's like a really awesome thing to have built into a frame. So, I mean, Lavos has kind of really got it all. It's just sometimes he feels like a pain to play. But if you can kind of get over the ability spam, guys, you are going to have a weapon here on your hands. And if you really want to build for his 4 nuking, like we said, we talked about some options with that earlier on. He's a really flexible frame that I'm not gonna say he has like a skill cap to him. It's just more he's like tedious. You gotta like nurture him. But if you don't want to play him in a tedious way, we talked about that a little bit as well. So yeah, this has been a really complex video on Lavos, but maybe not even complex enough. Kengineer can probably discuss the base kit of the frame better than I can. And what every ability is doing. But these are the builds that I like to use, the weapons that I've liked using as well. We will talk about the Vidaria Prime in a future video with another 5 Warframes and how that weapon synergizes well with them. Just because I think that weapon is so fun. But yeah, that's been the Dual Viciss, whatever. The Tenet Glaxion and Lavos. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for all the stutters, and I probably sound like I'm dying. It is really hot in my room, and I do not know why. And I'm not hydrated enough, so I'm going to get on that right now, and I'm probably going to crack a window or something. I will see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the overwhelming support on all the other videos. Hope Caliban is going well for you guys. And the rest of the Prime Access. Later, guys. Thank you so much.